Hey GB, Miss Dennis here, reading Ghost, and we're starting on page 129. Nah, it's okay. It's the reason I run. Well, I didn't really have a choice. My father made me. See, he did everything right. Got good grades, went to college, became a big-time businessman, and found the perfect wife. They had the big house and nice cars, but my mother wasn't into any of that stuff. At least, that's what my father says. He says that even though he could get her anything, she wanted to accomplish her own goals. And the biggest one was she wanted to win a marathon. That's it? She wanted to run a marathon, Lou asked, with a full mouth. No, she ran a lot of them. She wanted to win one. Sunny clarified. And she was planning to rev up her training after her pregnancy. But she died. So my father made me run. He felt like I owed it to her. I hated it at first, but I didn't have a choice. But now, because I've been running for so long, I don't even think about it anymore and kind of feel like I can somehow connect to her this way. So your daddy used to run, I asked. Pretty much. But was it to punish you? I darted my eyes from Sunny to the coach, who sat listening closely. Sunny's face started to pale up. I guess. But it ain't that child abuse. Ghost, Patty cut me off, still holding Sunny's hand. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I backed off. I was just saying, there's someone else at this table who might feel guilty of doing the same thing, running kids for punishment. I gave Coach a dramatic glare, and everybody laughed, lightening the mood. Hey, Patty focused back on Sunny. She let go of his hand and readjusted herself in the booth. I totally understand. I mean, I get it. Not the punishment part, but the part about your mom. My secret is sort of like that too. Sliding Sunny's utensils over to him, Coach nodded, but didn't say anything. He just listened and doled out the eating tools. He put another set in his right hand. Those were going to be Patty's. Really? Sunny asked encouragingly. Yeah, I'm adopted. As y'all already know, Patty continued. But I'm not like most adopted kids. Most don't know their folks. But I know my mom. You do? Lou asked, with a mouthful of rice this time. He looked so surprised, like he should have known about Patty, since the day they had been friends for many years. Yup, me and my sister, Maddie. Go get to see her all the time. She's cool. So why'd she give you up then? Lou asked stupidly. Lou, Coach snapped. Lou stopped chewing. Coach pointed at me and Lou, why he was pointing at me, and said, Thing 1 and Thing 2. What do y'all do before I picked y'all up? Study the world's most inappropriate questions? No, it's okay, Coach, Patty said. It's actually a good question. She rested her hands on the table. She actually gave us up because she doesn't have legs. They had to cut her off because she got the sugar. Patty paused to make sure we knew what she meant by the sugar. I guess our faces made it clear that we didn't, because she continued, diabetes. But who takes care of her? I asked. She takes care of herself mainly, but she couldn't take care of us, Patty explained, now rubbing the corner of her eyes. So you run for her? Sunny asked, now understanding how Patty could somehow relate to his story. Yeah, Patty swallowed. I run for her. Coach handed Patty her silverware. That leaves you, Ghost, he said. And let me tell you, I still wasn't sure that what my secret was going to be. But I definitely knew I had to think of something quick, because my duck was getting cold, and cold duck didn't sound good to me. At first I was going to tell them about the shoes, that I stole them. But then I had to figure Coach would not be okay with that, and even though he said we were telling secrets and we all could keep them, I had learned a long time ago that adults played by different roles. So that was out. But I only had one other real secret, and I didn't know if it was okay to tell, especially over Chinese food. But I could make up a good lie, despite the good job I'd been doing lying over the past few days. I just didn't want them to look at me different or give anybody anything to pick on me about. I mean, technically, I was still getting to know them, but I didn't know them. Not yet. I didn't know anybody besides my family. I never even told Red and Dre stuff like this. Matter of fact, I hadn't even mentioned to them that I was on the track team, just because I didn't want to have to go through the whole, you on a track team? But then I looked around the table. Everybody had told so many personal stories about their families, so maybe my family story wouldn't be so bad after all. Plus, my duck, it was getting cold, so my dad's in jail for trying to shoot me and my mother, I blurted out. And before anyone could say anything, I held my hand out for the utensils. Lou dropped his fork. Patty dropped her knife. Sonny stopped drinking. Coach's mouth hung open as he pressed everything into my hand. And I felt good, different. Like even though they were all stunned by what I said, I felt like they could see me, like they were all running the same race at the same speed. But I was also feeling pretty hungry. Thanks, I said, taking my fork and stabbing the duck with it. I twisted the meat off the bone and stuffed it into my mouth like nothing was wrong. Like I hadn't just dropped an atomic bomb of secrets. But I didn't really want to make a big deal of it. I just wanted to say it and eat. So what about you, Coach? I asked through my chewing of the best food I had ever had. Ever. Duck. Who knew? Charlotte Lee could collect all the rubber ones she wanted. I was going to set the record for eating the most real ones. I mean, it's basically like the world's greatest chicken or something. Everybody else had started back digging in their plates, even though now things were definitely a little awkward. Just a little. What about me? Coach replied at last. Well, what's your secret? I asked, pointing the fork at him. No, this is about y'all, not me. Come on, Coach, said Patty. Don't be like that. Yeah, I thought coaches were supposed to set an example, said Lou. Watch it, Coach snipped, but jokingly. No offense, Coach, Sonny said, but Lou's right. And Lou's never right, Patty teased, reaching over and snatching Coach's chopsticks and fork. Coach shook his head. I can't believe this, you dirty little rats. But I like the fact that y'all are ganging up on me. That means my plans are working. He puts his hands together like an evil villain. You're bonding. Yeah, Patty scuffled. Just get the secret, or kiss your noodles goodbye. Coach sniggered. Okay, he started. Well, it's true, Lou. I didn't run in the Olympics, and I won a gold medal. I did run in the Olympics, and I won a gold medal. Okay, so there, he said, snatching his fork and chopsticks back from Patty. And the conversation for the rest of the night pretty much all was about the Olympics. Coach didn't really say too much more about it. It was mainly just us talking about what it must have been like and all that. But I was glad that we were off my secret. It was like I had never even said anything about what happened with my dad, even though I did. I did. And it seemed like everybody at the table cared and didn't care at the same time. And that made me feel, for the first time, like I was one of them. They even asked me if I needed to borrow some practice gear, which I thought was nice, but I told them I was cool, that my mother was going to get me some very soon, even though I hadn't even asked her for any yet. Plus, I kind of wanted my first jersey and shorts to be the ones I ran my first race in, which I hadn't really even thought about until just then. But I appreciated them for offering to look out for me. Not too many people do that. I could add them to the list of my mother, Mr. Charles, and, well, Coach. And it felt good to feel like one of the teammates, like I was there, really, really there. As for me, but without as much, I screamed inside. It's the end of chapter 8.